get started. So and this is my first time actually talking to Matt as well. So yeah. So just like I guess an overview of what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna introduce myself, the class, and also give a chance for Matt to introduce himself and what he does, and then I'll start delving into some questions that we have written for him, and then we'll leave some time for Q&A at the end of class. So I guess does that sound good, Matt?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know why I'm nervous. This is crazy.
Don't worry about it. All right. So, who is CMSC389E? My co-TA was unable to make it to today, but his name is Mincy. We're both grad students doing our +1. So we just finished our undergrad and doing in math and CS. Yeah, you can read a little bit about Mincy and I. Mincy loves Minecraft, Valorant, gym, anime, playing the violin. He's involved in GSO, which is like a gamer symphony orchestra on campus. Yeah, and I am also a grad CS major. I love playing Minecraft, obviously, but I'm also into all sorts of sports: basketball, football, tennis, and I'm really into video editing. And I'm also really into the hackathon space. Sorry, these two slides were this slide was for our hackathon workshop. So we also have stuff about Big Camp and Technica, which are our hackathons on campus. But yeah. Just a brief little intro of what CMSC389E is. I'm sure all you guys know, but it's the most ambitious ploy to allow the CS department at a world-class university to allow us to accumulate credits towards graduation while playing a block game. No, it's not actually that. It's a class that was founded in 2019. So actually, backing up a little bit, the University of Maryland introduced student-teacher initiated courses in 2017, and those are one-credit classes where students can teach about a course that they're passionate in. And so in 2019, a former student, Alex Purcell, founded CMSC389E, and it was discontinued in 2022, to which we decided to revamp the course, especially because the old grade server was deprecated, and we use Gradescope, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a class about digital logic design, so that includes building fundamental computing circuits, using Redstone to do those, and it's really a great way to have hands-on experience building and modifying sequential and combinational circuits. And the goal of the class is to build up towards a final project where you can create a complete functioning CPU. And actually this entire course is kind of structured on your logical Redstone Reloaded and CPU series. So just a visual aid. So we at the University of Maryland, we have a plethora of different classes that kind of build up to what we're trying to do. So you can kind of see in this diagram, right? We start with our high-level language such as C, and we build all the way down to the logic gates required. These are just some course codes that students can take. Like this is parallel computing or computer architecture. Sorry. And then 216 is also like another computer architecture course that we take in our lower level classes. So, and this is discrete math, and yeah. So yeah, our curriculum is kind of looks like this. It's very similar to like what, because essentially we looked over the winter. We started this course last spring, and so all of our material is kind of based on the curriculum, and we kind of build our projects. What you see in bold is what our projects are. So we have 4 projects plus our final project, which isn't shown, which is just a culmination of all of these. And yeah, I think like, you know, this is familiar to you. This is something that you've obviously like made a bunch of videos on, so don't need to spend too much time on it. But yeah, this is just kind of a rough kind of overview of what our curriculum is. So just to, sorry, I'll let you speak in a second. Before we, this is just kind of some examples of what some students were able to do in the last semester for their final project, using, the complete the fully functioning CPU world at the end of your series. So we have a line algorithm that someone was able to implement, a discrete Fourier transform. There was also a okay. Well, someone was able to display the triangle numbers up to a certain. Oh wow, that's really slow. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see it. They use the simulator, and it's just because it was so slow to do it in the actual world. And then someone recreated the bad apple.
Oh
no. Yeah, let's just say this took way too long. So it was slow in the simulator too. It was funny. But yeah, that is a brief overview of our class. So now I will turn the stage to you. So yeah, give us a brief however long introduction of yourself, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Dang, I should have prepared more. But well, I'm a YouTuber, I guess. God, that's really weird to say, but I make Minecraft videos on the surface. But as you'll know, it's not just Minecraft videos. They're pretty nerdy because they get into redstone, they get into digital logic. They talk a lot on computer science concepts, and I've basically found a way to use Minecraft in an educational way, which a lot of people didn't really know was possible, but I think it's great. I am a recent college graduate. I graduated from University of Michigan with a computer science degree in end of 2023 is when I graduated. I was considering doing more than just a bachelor's at first, but then YouTube started to actually get a lot of views, and I was like, this is more fun. So I started doing that full time, and that's what I'm still doing full time. And so that's my whole life now. I play Minecraft as a job, which is crazy, but it works.
Cool.
I don't know what else I should say.
I guess how did you get into Minecraft, or how did you kind of start your journey into?
Yeah, so I started playing Minecraft in beta, which was 2010, 2011, something like that. A friend introduced it to me, and I just fell in love with it. I wasn't always into redstone. For a long time, I was doing building. Then I had a PvP phase in 2016, 2017. Then I started to get more into farming and the technical side and making giant slime block things or whatever. But then I think the computer stuff, the real computational redstone stuff started in 2020. I don't have a great memory of how it started, but I do know that the main thing that initially piqued my interest in redstone was seeing a YouTube video of someone's redstone calculator and thinking, I want to do that. That's all it took. It just popped up on my recommended, and I was like, that looks really cool. I want to try that. So I actually spent the summer of 2020 just trying to build a calculator, and it was horrible because it was my first time doing it, but I got it done, and I put it onto YouTube. I didn't expect it to get any views, anything at all. I edited it on my phone. I didn't even know how to edit back then. But somehow it got a decent amount of views. It got I think it was 100,000, which was just ridiculous. I think I posted it. I didn't look at it. I looked at it 3 months later, and I was like, what are all these comments? And so I was like, oh, that's cool. People actually care about this. And so I was like, what else can I do? What else can I make? and yeah, it's just been a lot of growth since then.
Cool. So you said you went to the University of Michigan, right? You graduated in 2023. Were there any classes or courses that you took that kind of maybe like aligned with some of the stuff that you were doing in Minecraft?
Yeah. So I did. I initially actually chose computer science simply because it allowed me to take the biggest variety of like computer-ish classes because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to specialize in. As time went on, though, I realized that hardware is really cool and digital logic is probably my favorite part. Sorry, software people, but and so I think it was EECS 270 was the first digital logic class I took, and that introduced me to a lot of the basic sequential components, registers, ALUs, all that stuff. And I actually had been doing Redstone already at that point because it had to have been 2021, 2022 when I took that class. And so a lot of it was kind of going on at the same time. I would be in classes and I would think something is cool, so I'd go home and try it in Redstone. Or I'd be doing something at home in Redstone and being like, I wonder if I could write that in, do that as a project in this class, or write it in Verilog or something like that. So yeah, I took EECS 270, which is a digital logic class. I also took EECS 370, which was a computer architecture class. Then I took 470, you can probably get the pattern by now, which was advanced computer architecture, and that was my like capstone course. That was my like final project type course thing. So that was really fun. That was in a group of 6 people. We made a computer in Verilog. It was great.
Nice. Let's see. So okay? So I've been watching some of your videos for like over the past year or so. I guess what are your favorite projects that you've built in Minecraft? I've seen the neural network. I've seen like all sorts of stuff like Flappy Bird. But like I guess which ones were your favorite? Why? Like how? Maybe what was something you found challenging when doing those projects? Or which ones were probably the most rewarding as well?
Yeah, so I get asked this question a lot, and my answer changes like all the time because every time I build something, it becomes my new favorite project. But I like to say that I really like Flappy Bird because it was kind of my first real big game that I made, and it's very, very elegant. You can build it in survival pretty easily, and it runs in real time, and it's just a really nice build. It was very rewarding because I didn't really have to think about like speeding up the game or making it doing any really special tricks. It was really just okay, figure out how to make the bird bounce with this tripwire, and then generate the pipes. That's it. Like, it just turned out really nice, and it was my first. I have a soft spot for it because it was my first like project video in a way, and that kind of it started the whole series of making these projects and sharing it with people. Then I kind of have another category of projects where it's like it maybe wasn't as fun, but the payoff was really nice. Example of that would be Super Mario, because I originally gave myself 3 weeks for it, and I thought that was enough time. I had a sponsor deadline after that 3 weeks that I was trying to hit. Did not get it done in 3 weeks. It ended up taking 2.5 months. So I had to quickly stop and make a different video for that deadline. But that ended up being just a lot. It was a grind, and it ended up being the biggest project I've ever made. But by the end of it, I was like really proud of it. It has so many features, and I was very, very happy with the video at the end. So in terms of payoff, like that one comes to mind. Not sure if there are any other specific ones. I mean, you said neural network. That was also a really fun one. That one I I didn't really. I went into the project thinking, okay, I want to do some kind of AI because AI is hot right now, and people will probably be interested in it. And I didn't know if it was really going to be possible to do something AI related that would even be fast enough for Minecraft. But I went online and I searched like what's the simplest like AI thing I can do. Like what were people doing in the 60s and 70s? That's usually what I try to look for. And digit recognition is like the classic example. So I was like, okay, let me at least try that, and it worked out. And yeah, I was really happy with that.
Cool. It seems like some of your videos are more focused on like maybe the history of things in Minecraft as opposed to like building something in Minecraft. So an example of that is you had a video on the history of RGB and how it's kind of progressed in Minecraft over the years. And so what kind of goes into your mindset when you're creating a video or coming up with an idea for a video? I know you shared a little bit about the AI and the neural network, but yeah, what kind of goes through your mind?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of goals I have when I try to think of like what specific kinds of videos I want to make. Obviously, like the big goal I think for any YouTuber, at least for YouTubers that are trying to grow, is what will people click on, what will people like. But going beyond that, I also try to think about how do I grow this community and how do I have people not only click on videos but want to keep coming back. So a lot of it is like, for example, with the RGB video, I thought that would be good because it's very interesting, but a lot of the information is just kind of hidden away in these Discord servers, or you can only figure it out if you talk to these specific people. And I felt like, okay, I have a lot of I have access to a lot of this really cool information, a lot of this really cool story, but no one else is really putting it out there. So I thought, why not just make a video on this and share it, because it's really cool and it deserves attention. And honestly, very quickly after I started YouTube seriously, I was like, I started to prioritize getting cool stories out there, like seeing things that I think deserve attention, and just making sure that like I can make everyone aware of it, because I think that the more people know about these stories and the more people see how cool it is, they'll be drawn to the community, they'll want to stay, they'll want to watch more of my videos. It's a win-win.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So, sorry, give me a sec. I guess given all of that, what's been like the most like what's been like probably the biggest challenge to I know you mentioned like having to uncover things in Discord messages, but has there been any other challenges when trying to construct videos, or there's oftentimes like maybe a goal is too lofty and there's too many barriers in between, like maybe like have you ever had that kind of like happen to you, or that kind of experience?
Well, I've only had to fully abandon a video midway through making it once, and that was when I was trying to make a part 2 to the neural network. I was trying to add a mode where you could actually train it in game, but it ended up being, I don't want to say too complicated, because like I think you could do it. It would just take too much time and too much manpower. Like you would basically need to assemble like thousands of accounts and have them all be making numbers on the pressure plate pads, like to and you'd have to do that for like a month to give it to have it train enough. But so I was just a little bit too ambitious on that one. There are a lot of challenges a lot of the time, but I don't know if I've just gotten super lucky or not. But that was the only time I really had to completely give up on something. Obviously, sometimes things take longer than I think, because there's a lot of things that go into it. Because it's not just making the project; it's scripting it out. It's how do I want to present this? what kind of topics do I want to cover here? How does the video feel? Like, there's so much stuff, and I'm still kind of doing everything on my own as well. I don't have an editor or anything like that, so it is a lot, and there's a lot of parts to it. So yeah, it can be hard to estimate how long it's gonna take, but overall, I mean, I get it done. My upload schedule might not be very consistent, but I tend to finish projects that I started eventually, I feel.
Yeah. I guess stepping outside of Minecraft for a second, I guess tell me more about like maybe like who you are as a person. What are your like hobbies? Like what are things that you like to do outside of Minecraft and digital logic design and all of that?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have a ton of them. I pretty much have no life. I spend a lot of it on Minecraft, but I have a few hobbies. One of them is VR. I have they still call it Oculus. I don't know. They might call it Meta now, but it's a Meta Quest 3. I don't know if anyone else has that, but I like Beat Saber. I like 11 table tennis. I like a lot of virtual reality games. And I also I'm into pickleball. This is like, I don't know if anyone's even heard of this, but it's so great, dude. Like, people think, a lot of people have heard of it once or twice, and they just think that it's like for old people, or it's like just a sport they play in Florida. But you got it wrong. You got it so wrong. It is literally so fun. Like, don't knock it till you try it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they usually say like pickleball is like, I guess, an older people's sport, but like I know they have pickleball courts near here and
yeah. It may have started that way, but we're taking over. Like, because I started playing in 2020, and when I went to the park, yeah, it was mostly old people. Now, when I go to the park, it is all people my age. Like, it is we completely took over. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I've only started playing recently too. Yeah, I usually play tennis, so it's like it's not, you know, when I saw pickleball, like first thing I think of is like, man, this is like tennis from Wish, but
yeah, it looks like a ripoff, but I promise it is more nuanced. I promise there's more to it. You just got to get into it.
Yeah. Also, what's on your shirt?
Oh, so this is a shirt that a friend got me. Hold on. It says.
Okay. Redstone is
yep.
You gotta.
This is my only Minecraft shirt.
Oh, sure. You should send us the link. Put in the Discord. For the
yeah, it might have been custom. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, do you play any other games outside of Minecraft, or is it just Minecraft?
It's just Minecraft right now. Because that's the crazy thing. Like, it is technically my job, so I will spend a lot of time building projects and doing the usual. But then when I do have like free time or I just finished a project or something, I'll still play Minecraft. It'll just be a different aspect of it. I'll hop on Hypixel or something.
Oh, we should get like a group like Hypixel like you can create like a really large party, right? If you're YouTuber rank.
Yeah, I got YouTuber rank, so that gives me all the MVP plus privileges plus more.
Cool. Do you ever get like tired of kind of like, because I know like you mentioned like it's your job, right? So do you ever get tired of like having to do Minecraft like over and over, like probably like even on a daily basis?
I've also been asked this question a lot. My answer is always no. I don't know how, but I just don't. I definitely get frustrated sometimes. Because a lot of times you'll be building something and you'll have a very like niche problem that is where it's like, you know, that you're kind of the only person who can solve it, like not because of how hard it is or anything, but just because like it's hard to explain. Like if a lot of circuits and digital logic you can just look online because it's all been figured out. It's all been done in the 60s and 70s. All this stuff's been invented. But sometimes you're trying to find a very specific problem to like a redstone thing that maybe either no one's done before or it's just so niche that like you can't really search for it on the internet, if that makes sense. That's when it gets really frustrating because I do leverage help a lot. I do ask people in my Discord for help. I have a lot of friends that help me out. And when no one has the answer to it and I'm just sitting there like and I just feel stuck, that's when it can kind of really suck. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like I don't get tired of Minecraft.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely can't say the same. I think like a lot of times like I do burn out, but like especially teaching a course now, like you're on Minecraft, and like our students as well, like they have to do projects on a week to week basis or like a every other week basis. So I guess it's different for like everyone, but it's cool that you know you still find it like you don't find it like monotonous or anything.
I mean, it's been 14 years, so I feel like if it was gonna happen, it would have happened already.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I also started like probably when I was in 5th grade, so like end of 2013. I think I remember when I was turned 11. So it's definitely been a long time. Yeah.
I like how some guys playing Minecraft in the class. That's amazing.
Wait, you can see. Oh wait. Wait. Is there a front camera to this? Let me check. That's hilarious. Now he can pay attention to. Oh no! Oh, this camera's useless. Okay, whatever. All right, yeah. That's funny. You can see. Wait, how wide angle is this? Let me check.
It's pretty wide. I've been stalking all the monitors.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So what are some of your plans for the future in terms of maybe yourself, your channel, like maybe channel growth, like anything really?
Well, I definitely want to continue at least making projects from time to time. I think that's a very like central part of my channel at this point. It's what a lot of the core audience expects. I think there's a lot of room to still explore and make different kinds of videos as well because every time I try to explore it, it goes well. I don't know why I don't do it more, honestly. Like I one time made a fully non-Minecraft video. It was about mazes. I didn't think it'd go anywhere, but people loved it. And I just think there's a lot to talk about still when it comes to not just Redstone, but Minecraft in general. And I know that Minecraft is gonna die eventually. Like it's sad, but I think that the smartest choice for me right now is to essentially ride the wave while it's here because it's doing a lot of good. It's I mean clearly, as you know from this class, like it's helping people learn, and people like it. But I think if I am still doing YouTube by the time that Minecraft starts to get maybe less popular, I do kind of long term want to try to transition into more just fully general computer science content, because the audience for CS is just way bigger. I mean, plus even if it wasn't, I think my potential audience is kind of, it's been limited because you have to kind of have some baseline understanding of Minecraft and also be into computers. And it's like, you know, you put that on a Venn diagram and you lose a lot of people in that way. So yeah, I think long term, gonna have to switch to computer science eventually, but for now, I'm definitely just riding the wave of Minecraft and Redstone because there's so much cool stuff to talk about. Like I have an ideas list that is gigantic. So yeah.
That's interesting. Like, would you ever consider maybe like teaching or like going back to school to maybe do another degree or teach at the same time or something?
I don't know about going back to school for taking a class, but I definitely have thought about teaching. I've thought, if YouTube somehow like was gone tomorrow, what would I do? And honestly, for a long time, the answer to that was I was going to become a software engineer. I mean, that's the original reason I went to school. And okay, maybe not a software engineer now, like maybe some other kind of engineer, but I was always going to be an engineer. That's the point. And honestly, very recently, I kind of realized like, if YouTube actually died tomorrow, I actually think I'd rather be a teacher. Just because I think I get a lot more enjoyment out of that. So yeah, that's kind of the pseudo backup plan.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think like not like maybe there's less people that want to teach nowadays, and that's like really cool, in my opinion. So I guess like last few questions from me. Do you have any advice to students on just like, I mean, anything related to career trajectory? I don't know, anything Minecraft related, or even with the final project, which I could talk about more as well, to give you more context.
Well, in terms of career advice, I try not to, like, I'm just simply not the best person to ask about that because I didn't really have any internships or anything. I mean, the only job I even had was like a few grocery stores and stuff. Other than that, I kind of knew maybe 75% of the way through, or even halfway through my bachelor's, that I was gonna probably end up doing YouTube after this. So, yeah, I kind of when all my other friends started applying for jobs and all that stuff, I just didn't. So, I'm not the best for advice on that. But I mean, project wise, like I want to say probably the biggest thing that really helped me out, like throughout school and especially throughout these project classes, is just talking to people. Like even if it is a solo project, like it's kind of insane how overpowered teamwork is. Like if you think about it, teamwork is kind of the most amazing thing we can do as humans. And I try to tell people, like, even if it is a solo project, like don't sleep on talking to people about it and trying to, even if it's just like how do you say it, using them as a rubber duck and just telling them all your thoughts, because it's very useful.
Yeah, that's really important. We actually like promote like collaboration on all of our projects, even though like everyone submits their own project, just so that because so people are able to bounce ideas off of one another, because like we have our entire course is kind of predicated on the fact that you were able to make your series open source, and your worlds that you use to kind of have those tutorials also open source. So like it wouldn't make sense to like not have that type of collaboration in our classroom, and so
Yeah.
we are a big proponent of that. Okay. I'm going to open the floor to anyone that has a question. So we'll start. Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's anything you think is really missing in Minecraft. Like if you could add something specifically that would make what you do like easier or more interesting. Is there anything that you've thought of?
Biggest thing that comes to mind for that is colored displays. There's really no great way to do it. Because, I mean, I'm sure you've all seen there's the redstone lamp, but it's only 2 colors. And every time someone tries to come up with a way to do some kind of color display that has more than 2 colors on it, it ends up being either less elegant than lamps or just not even really not even really Minecraft anymore. So it'd be really great if they added a version of lamps, or even just a completely new block that allowed for like more colors. Like maybe you could plug in a redstone dust and use the signal strength to determine the color. Then you could have 16 colors in a block. That'd be nice. Um, there's so much they could do with that, but they made the redstone lamp in 2012 or whatever, and that's basically been the best display forever, which really sucks. So I'd love to see something like that.
Cool, thanks.
Have you played around with the sculk sensors at all? Like, I know that like when it initially came out, like everyone was talking about like wireless redstone. I was wondering if like maybe there was a way to like incorporate that into like digital logic design and make it a little more compact.
Yeah. So I played around with them when they first came out, and I actually did a project with someone. It ended up going on their channel and not mine. But we ended up making sort of I don't even know the name of it, but the idea was to have a cursor that you could control with just yourself. So you'd be standing on a little platform, and there would be 3 sculk sensors in like a triangle around you, and based on how far away each one said you were from there, it would do some math to actually triangulate your location, and it would use that to display wherever you were on the screen. And it was a cool project, but ultimately, because of how limited the range is, I think it's only, I want to say like 20 blocks or something. I don't know what it actually is, but it's not, it doesn't go across vast distances or anything. Because of how limited the range is, it doesn't really have any huge, long-lasting impacts on like the circuits I make or anything. But there are actually a lot of other ways to do wireless redstone, and there are even ways to do wireless redstone that is infinite distance, and infinite channels too. If you just search wireless redstone on YouTube, there are really, really interesting videos on it. People have figured out incredible things in completely vanilla Minecraft that have nothing to do with the sculk sensor and can still like transmit any arbitrary amount of signals across any amount of frequencies too. It's really cool, and I am gonna probably make a video about it at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Can you tell us what a sculk sensor is for maybe those that are not aware?
Yeah, so you place it in your world, and the idea is that it kind of listens for certain things, and if it hears it, it outputs a signal. So one example is you can set it to listen to players putting on or taking off armor. And if you do that, then anytime a player within a certain range, I think I said maybe 20 blocks or something, anytime a player in that range like takes off a helmet, it'll output a redstone signal. So it's just like a little detector that is like listening for things.
How many projects or videos are you working on at a time, and do you wish that number were any more or less?
At least 2, because then if I get frustrated or annoyed with one, I can bounce to the other. I think that is like the absolute bare minimum. I've never been a person who just works on one thing at a time. I have gotten to points where I end up working on like 4 or 5 at once, and that probably ends up being too many. But I think the gold number and the number that I'm usually at most is 2. 2 things that I'm taking seriously at once.
What's the story behind the name Mattbatwings?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So my uncle like called me Mattbat growing up, so that was like my nickname. And then when I went to make my Minecraft account, I typed in Mattbat, but it was taken. And then this is where I don't actually remember exactly what happened. It was either one of those auto-recommended things, or it might have also just been my brother who suggested it. But somehow I added the wings to it simply because, yeah, I had to add something or change it in some way.
Cool.
That's one thing I actually don't like the name very much. I think it's a bit too late. I mean, I've been thinking about how to change it, and I can't really figure out a good way to do it. Like, a lot of people suggest to just drop wings and go to Mattbat, but does anyone know what that sounds like? Sounds like Mattbat, who's another, he's a gigantic YouTuber.
He retired though.
He did retire, yeah. And fun fact, I met him at VidCon, but he's like, that's still what everyone thinks of when they hear it. So I don't want to go that route.
Yeah, I think I was telling someone Mattbat's coming to our class, and they're like, "What?" Like,
Yeah,
they're like, "It's just a game."
like, I don't want to live my whole life like introducing myself and seeing the disappointment over and over again. Mattbat to Mattbat,
Any other questions? Yeah.
How did your family respond to you doing YouTube full time?
They were fine with it. They were a little surprised. I think because, I mean, I was still taking college courses, and I was still, like, everything seemed like I was lining up to become an engineer. I think the point where they were like, oh, he's serious about this, is when it started to be time to, like, get serious about finding a job afterwards and start applying for things, and I just wasn't doing that. And I let them know that, like, okay, this is real. Like, this is where it actually starts to change. I'm branching off from what all my other classmates are doing. And we had like a few talks, but overall it was pretty positive. I mean, I'm like very lucky. I have very good parents, so they're supportive of it. And also, my dad is a gigantic nerd. I think I get a lot of my personality from him, so it was actually, I think the conversation with him was like 5 minutes long. Like, so yeah.
Was there ever any doubt on whether YouTube was like going to work out, and if there was, how did you like get over that and realize there is actually something here?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary, and there's a lot there's a lot of doubt, like, in the beginning, but at the same time, I knew that if I was finishing my bachelor's, I could kind of, like, I kind of felt that as a safety net, and I felt like I could go back, and I mean, maybe not anymore with how crazy the job market is, but at least back then, I was thinking that it was finishing my degree and having that in my back pocket would be a bit of a safety net for me. Yeah, and I don't know. The passion to just do it and just figure out the rest later was like really strong for me. Like, I didn't really even think too much about like long term, like if this is gonna work out or not. I felt like it was the right thing to do. Like, especially when you just read comments every day about like people having these positive experiences, and it just felt like it was just a calling,
Do you have like a favorite comment or interaction you've had with like a viewer, or like any fun and interesting stories?
Now, I do have a channel in my Discord server where I log all the funny comments I've received. Let me have a little scroll. 1 sec. Well, one time someone joined my server and said, "Is there anyone who plays Minecraft here?" And someone responded, "You are the reason shampoo has instructions." People are brutal in there. I always find it really funny when people just try to make the biggest thing possible. Like, they're not even concerned about its functionality. They're just like, how many bytes can I make in Minecraft before my computer dies? And so there's this really funny image, like, what this guy was going on and on. He was like, half a kilobyte, 1 kilobyte, and then finally he couldn't send another image, and he just said, "Oh, crash trying to double it." Like, people just, it's so. I don't know if it's because they're like little kids or whatever, but it's just people are obsessed with just making the biggest thing possible, regardless of whether it works or not, or whether it's actually useful, and it's hilarious.
Okay, we'll have time for like one more question. Yeah.
I know you kind of touched on it, but how did you manage the workload of being a full-time college student with also growing your YouTube channel?
It was kind of hard. There were some times where I had to step away from YouTube a bit, or at least not put as much work into it as I would have liked. Especially because I actually I graduated in 3.5 years instead of the normal 4. I know a lot of people take a lot more than 4, so I was on a bit of an accelerated schedule, so there were multiple months at a time where I had to really just lock in and not worry too much about YouTube. People didn't really notice because my upload schedule was already kind of weird and sometimes didn't post for a while. But yeah, I just prioritized school at the time because I knew that, like, regardless of how well YouTube was going to do, focusing on school was the important thing. And honestly, I had a lot of fun in a lot of the classes, so I didn't mind it at all. And yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming to class today. Maybe we'll give a round of applause.